Welcome to Unplugged with B-Flow on Tikambe Natulande. I'm so excited to be back on this wonderful quarantine show, which we started about 2 days ago. So on Tuesday, my first guest was none other than Esther Chungu, female songbird and gospel artist, and we just had a chit chat. So this is a show that we're bringing to you just to, edutain and just to keep you busy and keep you company as you are still figuring out how to cope with the new normal, which is staying home or going out, but making sure that you mask up and maintaining that social distance and observing all the precautions and regulations that have been put in place by the authorities. So I'm so happy to introduce to you my second guest. And this man is a superstar, world-renowned superstar. A man that I first met in Kabwe back in the early 90s. And it's my brother Roberto, superstar. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. Why are you busy opening your fist?
That's what we do these days, just to make sure that you want to make sure that, so when you try to give them a handshake, and then they go like, hey. Okay. That's the new normal we're talking about. How are you doing, man?
I've been good. I've been great. Good to see you after a while.
Good to see you too.
Yeah.
Thank you for hosting me at Brotherhood.
You're more than welcome. Thank you so much for coming back. I believe this is an interesting moment for me because musical history goes back to, childhood days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big
but it's
time.
a good thing.
Yeah, so just in case you didn't know, he used to be a DJ. And when I talk DJ, whoa, I'm not just talking about a DJ on QFM, but a DJ, like club DJ back in the day.
Yeah, I was in grade 8 then when I used to play at a club. And a lot of people actually don't know much about that story, that I was in grade 8 and I used to be a club DJ. I used to sneak out of the house at about 18. I just go and, play at K's nightclub in Kabwe. Yeah, so I used to play there. And then there's, I think it's Mine Club in Kabwe as well. We used to have those events there. At High Ridge High School, we used to be the guys that people come to when they want to have an event. So, yeah.
That's how long Brotherhood has been in existence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice one. So thanks for hosting me once again. And
you're welcome.
So Tikambe is a platform for young people.
Okay.
Basically what we try to do is just to inspire young people, to make sure that we encourage them to make the right choices, make informed decisions about things such as their sexual and reproductive health and rights. But these decisions cannot be made by the young people without guidance, and that's why it's important for young people to listen to important voices like yours, role models like yourself. And that's why it's very important for me to make sure that even as I invite guests on this show, I make sure that it's people that are going to are already having a positive impact in the lives of the young people that are watching us.
Okay.
So,
talk to me.
We have this situation we're in right now, coronavirus. How are you coping? How are you holding up? How are you managing the situation, and how are you communicating with your fans, friends, and family? How has it affected you as an artist?
It has affected, I think, every sector of business in the country and globally, as per se, Yeah. But when it comes to the artist nature, it is truly devastating because no events.
Yeah.
If you depended on events solely, this is a time where you kind of like look back. If anything, we miss being on stage.
Right.
I don't know if any artist is going to look at performing in front of a crowd the same ever again, because you never know. It could be the last time you engage and interact with your loved audience.
Yeah.
But as it is, it really is catastrophic. You are living on a shoestring budget. Everything that you're doing, it's almost like you're counting down each quarter, like, okay, now this I need to do, this I need to do that. So the method in which everybody right now is trying to utilize to stay relevant, of course, is via social media.
Yeah.
And it's the easiest way in which one can be in the comfort of their own home, wherever it is where they are. They could be in a car. And I'm happy to see a number of artists come up with different ventures and different ways or approach how to keep their audiences and their fans entertained via, playing certain segmented songs time and time again, just throwback sessions. So it is a moment in which we now have to depend solely on our creativity to remain creative and relevant. So yeah, it's been quite interesting. We've had to learn how to utilize technology and social media the best way possible. But yeah.
And communication, how are you communicating with your family?
Social
Seeing
media.
that you can't really. Oh yeah.
Everything really is now become socially based. I've been seeing a couple of memes go around where like the schools are saying, don't come with phones to schools, but now we need phones for us to learn. And if you notice, a number of institutions are using different applications to conduct lessons or have classes. So we have to adapt, and I think it's interesting how we now will be looking at technology as our next best friend. Because whatever it is that we want to do, we have to rely on technology. If we cannot engage one-on-one, what other ways can we do it? Or like one-on-one in person, how best can we now utilize this time to still stay relevant and still be able to communicate? So yeah, WhatsApp, it's become very popular, even more popular.
I like that. I like how you describe technology as our next best friend. But I must say that for you, technology has been a best friend to you for quite some time. I think that you had a certain approach to your music at a time when a lot of people did not take this technology thing seriously. You were busy on the internet researching. You were always on YouTube. You've had a YouTube channel for a long time. A lot of us have just realized now that you can have a YouTube channel, you can monetize it.
And actually make money off it.
You did your research and you actually started making money from your streams and all these digital platforms way before many other Zambian artists even woke up. Did you foresee certain things, or you were just trying to diversify and make sure that you enlarge your income streams?
It's pretty much both. I would say it is something that started as far back as the early high school days, because I was introduced to individuals who lived in far-flung places. And one of the things that at times would get me thinking is, how did people like, for example, Yvonne Chaka Chaka, Hugh Masekela, Pongozi, even, for example, some of the greatest artists we have or we had in this country, how were they able to share their content across the world? There was you couldn't send an email. It was either via post, right? And they still managed to do it. And for me, I told myself, listen, if they were able to do that back then when we didn't have the internet working the way it is today, what should stop me from using what I have right in front of me to expand my horizon? And I took a lot of time to study a lot of ways in which one can distribute, can make money, as well as just stay relevant, even in the social media age. So along the way, I realized I could actually make money off it, And I think it's
what better way of making money than from your passion?
Exactly. I think like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, I just said, you know what, I'm not going to be uploading my music on free sites anymore, because I understand that people who are looking for my music in certain places. And a few days ago, someone was asking me, but why don't you post on free sites? And I told them, you know what, when you travel, that is when you actually realize that there's certain things that you're doing wrong.
And you've been losing out.
Yes. For example, do you know that if you're in Dubai today, you cannot access certain sites from Zambia?
Are you serious?
Yes.
Why?
You can't. If you go to Cyprus or if you go to Finland, you cannot access some of the sites that we upload our music on. They're locked out.
Then,
Exactly. So you find that you have a lot of people who will know your music, download it for free here, but the rest of the world might not know it. So the only other platforms that you could use where one can utilize or get to know about your music is either YouTube. You get my point? YouTube and SoundCloud. Notice how a lot of your established artists will always have a YouTube and SoundCloud link. It's because you can access these links anywhere in the world. But a lot of people didn't realize that, and I used to have issues with certain bloggers. They were like, "Oh, you don't want to send us the music." Like, it's not like I don't want to. Exactly. But then they didn't understand the fact that for me it was about a global reach and I wanted my music to be accessible anywhere across the world.
Yeah.
So they could still upload this and that there, but my main emphasis of promotion would always rely on links that will still make my music easily available to anybody in the world.
Wow.
So at times people be like, as in this, I need this person, but I knew what I was trying to do. And now the very same individuals will be like, oh, this and that, they're the ones who are joining the bandwagon now, you know what I mean?
They're like, no free things.
No free things. If you've noticed, everybody's preaching that, but I started preaching it like 5 years ago, you know what I mean? And I remember when I used to post my music on Spotify, on iTunes, people are like, there's no Spotify in Zambia, there's no iTunes. I'm like, but where my music is going, those platforms are there. So yeah, sometimes it's good to ask before you say something without knowing where it's actually going.
Very true, very true. I've seen times when you have spoken against certain things like people giving artists shoddy deals and not being able to afford, or not wanting to pay the amount that the artist is asking for. And we've seen people on social media try to speak against what you are trying to stand for and say, he's just a Zambian artist, why does he want to ask for a lot of money? But because you stood your grounds, now we're able to see you getting that thunderous welcome at different airports in other countries, where the cars are even branded Roberto. So big ups to you for those decisions you made, and thank you very much for being generous with this information that you've shared, because I know that an upcoming artist out there has watched this and
I hope they're picking up something from there, because branding is important. Branding is very, very important. When you're an artist, you need to understand that you are a brand, and what you stand for is what people will actually go by. So we have people who would always look at things differently. I'll give you a very practical example, right? Let's say that you and me are actually seated outside, and then we see a girl passing. We're gonna shower her with all the interesting things. This girl looks nice. Hey, have you seen the clothes she's putting on? Have you seen that? The minute she says no, what are you gonna say?
Negative.
After hey,
when I was pointing out the things that we were not seeing.
Thank you. That is the nature that we sort of like have and possess. So anything that you do, if anybody approaches you and then you say, I'm not going to take your offer, do you think they're going to go back and say nice things about you?
No.
Thank you.
Those are the people that try to danger you.
Yes. And that is what usually happens. Notice how every time the people that will say bad things about somebody are people that have been rejected. I don't think people take rejection easily. We always want to feel like I can own you, I can buy you. It is something that I'm going to advise my fellow artists. Only you know how much you spend a day. Only you know how much millimil is in your only you know. I might not know. So if you're going to go somewhere and you're going to say, listen, I'm going to charge you 5,000 kwacha or 10,000 kwacha, you know why you're doing that.
Exactly.
And now we're living in an age where everything that you do, you need to do better than what you did before. So how are you going to do better if every time someone approaches you, they're offering you the very same thing, and it's not elevating you, and it's not helping you grow? As an artist, you need to grow. As a business person, you need to grow. Sometimes you take certain risks. Sometimes things will work, sometimes it may not work. So if you're taking certain risks, then you know that you are looking out for your best interest. So if individuals somewhere are not going to understand that you're looking out for your best interest, then they have no super interest in you. All right? Because sometimes a lot of people will want to use you but not want to see you grow. And that's where the issue is. A lot of people will want to use you but they don't want to see you become bigger than who you are, because they feel like and that's where the issue is. So we always want to keep you enclosed in a certain area, so that I'll keep coming, it's like a mechanic. They won't fix the car fully.
So that
they'll fix it a bit so that you go back. They'll never fix it in full. Never.
This life.
So it's like that, man. A lot of theories that we can share, but
no, thank you so much. So Roberto is still with us on Unplugged with B-Flow, brought to you by Tikambe, which is an initiative of BBC Media Action and Restless Development. We are just about to get into the most interesting part, which is the moment you've all been waiting for, which is the music. But I need to test Mr. Roberto, Mr. Superstar. Let's see how much of a superstar he is when it comes to issues of sexual and reproductive health and rights.
Goodness.
So I'm going to ask him...
Can I get some leakage? Hold on.
You want to be on Google?
I'm just joking. Okay.
So I'm just going to ask you about 5 questions.
Okay.
And I'll give you options.
Uh-huh.
So it's just true or false.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I'll tell you whether your answer is correct or not.
Here we go.
Alright, so first question.
Uh-huh.
You can tell that someone has an STI by just looking at them.
False.
That's correct. Okay. The man knows his things when it comes to sexual and reproductive health and rights. Yeah, so it's true that there is no way, I mean, it's false to say
That
you can
actually
tell.
see if
Yeah,
someone's got
so
STI.
so the answer false
correct?
is correct.
Okay.
There is no way to know by looking at someone, even if it's up close and personal, whether they have an STI or not. The only way to know for sure if a person has an STI is for that person to get tested.
Correct.
Nice one.
Yeah.
So the next question, if I have an STI,
Mm-hmm.
I will be able to tell. True or false?
I hope that question had another another option. I'll tell you why I'm saying that.
Okay.
Because there's certain symptoms at times that might show that could give you an idea that you possibly might have an STI.
Yeah.
So on that one, I'll leave it at that because
Okay.
the certain STIs that might give you certain clues. They don't confirm to say yes you do, but they could give you certain clues.
Yeah.
So maybe I can leave it at that.
Okay. Okay. Nice one. Fair enough. Because even in the answer that I have, it explains to say some people with an STI will experience symptoms.
Exactly.
But most people who have an STI show no symptoms, but some
Yeah.
can show some symptoms.
Yeah.
This can be true for pretty much any STI out there. So the only way to know for sure
Is to get tested.
is to get tested.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
The next question is, you can get an STI from giving or receiving oral sex.
You
True or
can.
false? That's correct.
You can.
That's correct.
Don't be fooled.
So some STIs can be passed through giving or receiving oral sex. For example, if you are performing oral sex.
Oral sex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Won't get into the details of how.
No. We're not going
Leave
there.
it at that.
Next question.
Yeah.
Once you have been treated and cured of an STI,
Uh-huh.
you can't get it again. True or false?
False.
That's very true. It's true that it's false.
Yes. My answer is correct.
His answer is correct. It's
Okay.
false. That once you have been treated and cured of an STI, you can't get it again. You can get it
You
again.
actually can get it.
Even if you are completely cured of an STI, you can still get it again if you have sexual contact with someone who has it.
Yeah.
Even if it's the same one, the same type,
Yeah.
you still get it. Next question. Wearing 2 condoms instead of 1 provides double the protection against STIs. True or false?
False.
That is correct.
Who would want to do something to that? Like really?
Wearing 2 condoms actually makes it more likely that both condoms will break. This is because the 2 condoms rub against each other,
Friction.
causing friction, correct?
Yeah.
Which can lead to tearing of both condoms. In the case of condoms, 2 are not better than 1. The same is true for female and internal condoms. Don't use a female or internal condom with a male/external condom.
In other words, a female person wearing a female condom and a male person wearing male condom would still cause the very same friction and both will actually break.
Very correct.
So you're better off just putting on one. It's either the female wears or the male wears it.
Perfect.
Simple.
This man knows his sexual reproductive health information. Yeah, big
Thank you.
time. Okay, let's try this one. You cannot catch an STI from a toilet seat.
You can.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Especially women, it's very easy for you to catch it because whilst you're seated, whilst you're urinating, anyone who was there before who might have urinated, and then when you urinate, the splashes will still come back and So even with the males, the what do you call them again? You know, like when you go to the public bathrooms and the likes, if you urinate directly, pretty much get it.
Okay, so it's dependent on the time frame between the time that the previous person used the toilet and the time you're using it.
Yes.
It is a common myth to believe that you can get STIs from from using a toilet that somebody else had used, but it's all dependent on the time.
Yeah.
STIs are transmitted through sexual contact, not toilet seats. Even if the sexual fluids from another person were on the toilet seat, any bacteria or viruses would not survive on the toilet seat surface for more than a couple of minutes. So let's get immediately Pamela.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, the last question. Taking a shower or washing yourself with hand sanitizer after sexual contact will avoid STI transmission. Sanitizer!
Who's that who's looking for handsome tiger?
Sanitizer with a hot tap.
Handsome tiger. No,
So can sanitizer prevent an STI?
No.
Nice one. So that answer is correct. It is forced to believe that taking a shower or washing yourself with hand sanitizer after sexual contact will avoid STI transmission. Do not rely on washing yourself after sexual contact to prevent infection. That does not work. The best way to reduce your risk for STI transmission during sexual contact is to use barrier methods of protection, for example, condoms, to prevent STI transmission from happening. Yeah. Roberto, you've been awesome.
Thank you so much.
And you have tackled my questions well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for making it on Unplugged with B-Flow, brought to you by BBC Media Action and Restless Development, Tikambe.
Yeah.
This is the moment everybody has been waiting for.
Yeah, a little something.
Do you want to give us a song? Which song are you going? Right now, your biggest song, right now, continental level, not just locally, is okay. Debatably, it could be either African Woman or Beautiful, because those two, I think when I look at the international channels, they compete.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you are also not very sure.
No, at the moment, African Woman seems to be doing the most. And it's surprising because it's like a year later. And that's the beauty of music, you know, like you find that a song will come out and after a period of time, that's when people now start to get into the vibe of things. So yeah, African Woman at the moment, and most recently Don't Cry. I think I have done a number of interviews with a number of institutions or media outlets across the world over Don't Cry. So yeah, I think that one is picking up real fast. So yeah, it's a good thing.
Nice. We can only wish you the very best, Mr. Superstar.
Thank you.
This is your calling. You were just made for this. Like you are just going to be achieving, and not even the sky is the limit for you.
Man.
I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
Being a brother from Kabwe.
Yeah, man.
Nice one. A fellow basketball player. All right. So
Definitely.
Roberto is giving us a song called Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give up my seat for a guitarist called Kennedy Sakala, who is going to play the keyboard.
Playing keyboard.
Mr. Kennedy Sakala, over to you, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you sit over here.
Yeah.
And I'll be here. Oh. I'm gonna move here. I think we can turn up the volume a little, yeah?
Oh, yeah, sure.
can take a bullet for you. I'ma fight for your love. I can catch a grenade for you alone, for you alone. I can go against the world for you alone, for you alone. I can go against the world. Mutima wanga umamenya kuti bumbeya. Famene ine nimambela, nimambela wanted you. Only Gwilly said never let go, girl never let anything go. Langi said chama chako, girl we are love when you're on your day. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful, you are beautiful, mama. Wonderful, wonderful, you are wonderful, mama. Kungana iwe, ona nena chinja because of you, mama. Kungana iwe, ona nena chinja because of you, mama. Yeah. Ona nena chinja because of you, mama. Whoa, whoa. Ona nena chinja because of you, mama.
Vantu vaimba. Muntu vaimba munga umvela CD. Like I'm listening to the actual song on CD.
Really? Please take a sip. Please take a sip.
A superstar is a superstar.
Hey, man. Good stuff, man.
Hey man, big up yourself.
Thank you.
I only told you about the show last night. Late last night, I just called you up and you were like, ah, cool. I can spare some time.
Yeah.
Of course, you're a superstar and you're busy, but you made time. And it's not like you even rehearsed with Kennedy.
No, we actually met today.
Yeah. So that's how ready, born ready.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's how ready.
All the time, all the time, all the time.
Yeah, well.
And thank you for at least knowing the song. Yeah, I noticed you played my favorite version. I think the acoustic version is one of my favorites because it helps me drive the emotion of the song itself and what we really wanted. So it's definitely one of my versions. I hope we can record that one. The keyboard version. Because we've got the guitar version, maybe we can have the keyboard version.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Mr. Roberto, thank you so much for your time. I really
so
appreciate that you took time to be on Unplugged with B-Flow, on Tikambe with BBC Media Action and Restless Development. And thank you so much for sharing those great lessons and for answering the quiz correctly.
Thank you so much. And I think I need to take this time to thank you guys for what you're doing for our industry and just for the general citizens in the country and across the world. It's important for us to educate each other, remind each other, and I hope that information that we've shared today is not offensive to anybody, but it should be an eye-opener that we are who we want to be, and we should be a representation of good individuals, individuals who stand their ground, individuals who know where they want to be. Because at times I feel like every time anybody shares their opinion, it fits a certain type of way in people's lifestyle, taking it in a wrong fashion. So this is not information meant to offend anybody or cause any uproar. It's information that should be able to get you thinking and say, you know what, if this person can do this and do that and they're able to move in this steady pace, I too can do it. So it should inspire you rather than make you feel like, oh, this person is degrading you. So yeah.
That's the real definition of success. You're not, you can't claim to be successful if your success is not successive. You've got to pass it on, and the success that you have acquired, you're willing to share the lessons, and anybody who takes offense is not being wise.
Exactly.
The wise will take the will take the advice.
Yeah.
They say, let he who has an ear hear.
Exactly.
Yeah. Big up yourself, Roberto.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We're out of this place.
Peace out.